What is going on, guys? Craig 1287 here, bringing you yet another Battlefield 4 gameplay, but that is just to serve as a backdrop for today's conversation, and that will be talking about the Hardline reveal. They have shown off, or revealed some details, and even shown some gameplay for every map and every game mode that will be launching with the game when it comes out in March. And there are 9 maps that they have confirmed. So let's go through those real quick. Downtown, that was one that we had already played in the that early closed / eventually became open early beta or alpha or whatever it was. Then they've also got Bank Job, which looks to be pretty cool, and they've got The Block, which is a very urban setting. I'm very excited for that one. I think it'll be pretty darn interesting. And then there's going to be Dust Bowl, which is the one that we will actually be having access to very soon in the phase 2 of the public beta that will be available. And then we've got Hollywood Heights, which seems to offer a very close quarters kind of feel to it. It'll be interesting to see how... I don't think this one's going to have... Just based on some of these, but mostly the Hollywood Heights one, I don't think like Hotwire is going to be available on all the maps, because this one just doesn't seem like Hotwire would work. I could see Conquest large. I mean, I can't legitimately see it. 64 players, from what we've seen at least. Obviously, we haven't seen the entire map. But I wouldn't want to see 64 players on this. But I could still see, because of the verticality, because of how many floors there are, and things of that sort, I could see points being scattered out quite a bit. But I just don't, there's no roads, there's no way that I could see Hotwire being effective on that. So it hasn't been confirmed whether every map will feature every single one of the game modes. And so some of these pictures just kind of makes it seem like that won't be the case. But that's just my speculation. Then they've also confirmed Grow House. Then there's also Derailed, Riptide, and Everglades. Which, yeah, so I'll have some pictures just kind of going up throughout the video, showing off these. Not really going to show any of Downtown or even Dust Bowl, seeing as how there's plenty of stuff that we've already seen on those, especially with the beta reveal. They showed off some of the stuff for Dust Bowl. But in the video description, definitely check it out. I've got links to all sorts of YouTube videos that they have released for a bunch of these maps, and some of them, they're bouncing around between different game modes on them. Some of them are very short. They're like 20-something seconds, maybe 30 seconds. Some are up in the minute kind of space. I kind of wish they'd shown a little bit more. Some of the ones that are just like 20 seconds, but it's still interesting to just get a visual feel. And I also have links in the video description to the actual announcements pages for both the maps page and the modes page. So if you want to check those out, there are a lot more screenshots than the ones that I am showing here in this video. So check that out. And you can read a description of each of the maps there. So go check that out, but it just kind of gives you some backdrop. It doesn't really go into specifics of gameplay on those. They kind of offer some little tidbits of information as to what potential game modes might be popular there. But yeah, they look to be some pretty distinct maps, and Riptide seems to be pretty cool. The screenshot in it just has a real cool atmosphere to it. Very excited to see what happens with Hollywood Heights. Definitely check out the video for that one. You really get that sense of when Battlefield 3 had the DLC launch. I believe it was called Close Quarters, and they had that micro destruction for things of the like walls and whatnot. That is definitely present in that Hollywood Heights map. It'll be interesting to see where it's in Hardline. For that downtown map, I remember in some of those business buildings, some of those office buildings, there was that micro destruction was present there as well, just shooting dudes through the very thin walls, and it was a very awesome experience. You've got to check out the Bank Job video. it has a really awesome Levolution event where you're blowing up the ceiling, and one of the vaults, one of the safes from up above falls through, and you can get up through it, so you can get up through the floor. I mean, it's just really cool. I don't know if that'll be like the biggest event, and I don't know if every map is going to feature Levolution. But yeah, it just looks really, really cool. So definitely go check out some of the stuff for that. And now moving on to the modes, Conquest will be returning. We already know that actually is going to be available for the beta that we'll be testing soon. And Team Deathmatch is going to be returning. No Squad Deathmatch, which is interesting. I know a lot of people like Squad Deathmatch. I've never really cared for it. But yeah, so just Team Deathmatch, Conquest, and I'm sure there'll be a distinction between Conquest small and large. They don't really say that, but based on some of the videos that have been shown where you see only like 3 capture points, I imagine that's Conquest small, because doing 64-man servers with Conquest and only having 3 capture points will be kind of chaotic. So the other modes are Heist and Blood Money, which we've already gained access to those for that early test. Heist being the one where you've got the attacking and the defending team, and they're trying to break into the vehicles and steal certain items within them and get them to the capture point, or whatever you want to call it. I just loved that mode. It was interesting because you'd have those rounds where the attacking team would be so good at attacking, and we would end up beating the team in like 3 to 5 minutes, which is kind of ridiculous. So yeah, that mode, very excited for that one, just because it offers a nice little twist on objective play, kind of an MCOM rush sort of sentiment, because you are arming and disarming objectives, but then there's more beyond that. So it's kind of got that twist that Titan mode in 2142 had, and Carrier Assault from Naval Strike expansion had, because there's that sense of, the objective changes up from one point to the next point of the round, and it changes up your gameplay. So very excited for Heist mode. Blood Money is kind of the one where it's a twist on CTF, in that there's a central point, where you got the money and you can steal from the bank, and you only have to go to the midway point on the map, or, risk and reward, you can try to steal your enemy team, you can try to take from their pool. So if you take from theirs, yes, you're not only gaining money if you can get it back to your base, but you're also removing their money, so it's a 2 bird 1 stone kind of thing. But there's higher risk. You're having to go into enemy territory. You're out there longer. That's more that you have to. That's more space you have to cover getting back. That's more time that you can get shot and taken out. There's just an immense amount of player choice for that mode, for Blood Money, and I really love that. I really love risk versus reward. I really like the flanking capability, and I'm just hugely excited for Blood Money. That's one of the biggest reasons I'm excited for Battlefield Hardline. It's not just new maps and the fine-tuned gameplay and performance. It's these modes. These modes that they're coming out with are incredibly awesome sounding, and playing them in the alpha or early beta or whatever that was, it was actually fun. So now we're getting to some of the ones that we haven't actually had our hands on yet, and that'll be Hotwire. Obviously the YouTubers, they've been flown out and tried those out, and that's the twist on Conquest, where some of the flag capture points are actual vehicles that have to be going a certain speed for them to be counting towards your team's capture. So that one, very excited for that, because Conquest, tried and true Battlefield game mode, and this one, I think it's going to have a nice little twist on it. Rescue mode is one of the 2 modes that they're really pushing as the sort of very tactical and competitive modes, because you don't have any spawns. So in Rescue, you've got, cops versus, well, it's all cops versus robbers, but it's cops are going to be trying to go in and rescue, hence the name, a civilian, I guess, is who it would be, but it'll be somebody that's captured by the criminals. Obviously, I don't think the criminals can just straight up shoot the hostage. That would make things probably a little too easy. For this one, it really, I think, is going to, the make or break is going to come down to how the AI is handled and the mechanics for getting them to be on the move, and, if they can be shot, if they can be blown up. If that's the case, then I think the mode might just crash and burn. So yeah, this one is the most, hesitant, that I'm very hesitant about the success of it. And finally, Crosshair, which I will actually link you guys to a interview, I guess, on IGN. They've got some gameplay up of Crosshair. This one sounds extremely cool, and this is the one where you're trying to get like a kind of like an informant and a VIP, and you're trying to get them in, but one of the players is the VIP, and so if the VIP dies, then you lose. You can kill everybody, all the other players on the team, all 4 or 5 of them. I think it's 5v1 with a VIP, or maybe it's 4v1. I think it's 4v1, or 4v4, and then you've got the 2 VIPs on each. So it's total player count, 5v5. But only one of them is what determines whether you win or lose, and you got to get them to the other team's side to get them escaped, or something of that sort. So yeah, guys, check it out. Those are all the new modes and the maps that are going to be coming out. Again, this is for the default release. We might see some new modes and maps obviously down the line with premium or whatever they end up doing with their DLC. So I'm thoroughly excited for all of this. I cannot wait to get my hands onto the second beta and try out Hotwire and the new mode Dust Bowls, or the new map Dust Bowl. So hope you guys have enjoyed the gameplay going on there in the background, and hope you guys are just as excited for Hardline as I am. Hope you guys enjoyed all of it. Have a good one. Ta-ta.